left. We don't really like. I think it's the mic.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, everyone. We want to thank each and every one of you who want to join me today for AmbaPerspective, and we glad plenty to see some of our brothers online already, and we hope that they will share the link so that we will get a discussion today regarding our struggle and other matters we concern with. And we would like to thank all those watching on satellite on ground zero for also extend our thank you for always being there and watching AmbaPerspective. Good afternoon, Derek.
Good afternoon, Ray, and welcome to the show. Welcome, fellow viewers. It's always a privilege to be sitting on another edition of AmbaPerspective. Today we hope that we will discuss some of the things that have come up within the week, and hopefully our phone lines will be better today so that we can hear from you, we can get your own perspective. To those joining us on Facebook, we would invite you to share the link and invite friends so that we can all have a conversation together around the things of the struggle. I think this week key issues are the visit of the Commonwealth Secretary to Cameroon. That is particularly not very, something I don't have a pleasant opinion about. And also, La Republique continues with their military offensive into our country. They continue to abduct people, they continue to terrorize people in their homes and houses, and they have gone from Manu to other counties. So those are some of the things that we would discuss today, and we are hoping that we will hear from the viewers, especially those at home. We understand that there's been some signal losses for some specific areas, especially the area of Tobi in Kumbu, and also now in Dok.
We understand that
so we will now be activating our security protocols, and our viewers would soon know what to do next. I think we all know that La Republique has been fighting to get our channel off air, but we rest assured our viewers that we will have a way around that. So just keep sending us the messages when you have problems with your signals so that we see what we can do.
Yeah, yesterday the boss for Commonwealth, the La Republique, it just be very funny. Say the woman come remain for French Cameroon, where they no get, not even them qualify for take La Republique go for Commonwealth. They go stay for the Bobia just to give him a dad. He come up, I see they work as the spin around, the visit na Speaker of Parliament where the man don't deny self for even here the matter na here and for La Republique Parliament. And then he go work at the visits diplomatic corps where they don't even talk no better thing about our struggle. You know, it be very, very ironic. I say the very same people where na virtue of them being an Anglo-Saxon people make and they admit La Republique for Commonwealth. The boss for Commonwealth will come in that country. Here say that same people, you know, because of them where they for Commonwealth, they get problem. and he decide for go see na people the way they go obviously hide the truth from me. It'd be very pathetic, and it just means say all these international bodies don't get any they don't get any concern about the people of Southern Cameroon and Ambazonia. All they be concerned are their diplomatic relationships with the people in power to continue to loot the wealth of our countries, and our people go remember poverty. So I don't even see why he come, but then it become the responsibility of Ambazonians in the diaspora to storm all their offices. Tell them the truth, tell them say the lies, the way they go out, they will receive them. Let them make sure say they come out here and meet with our leaders. In fact, this woman supposed to go Nigeria, go meet our president too, here outside of the story. This two way go reach the Republic State, Komogo, means say, either he just want for fulfill a mandate as the Secretary General for just pass by, or he want really do work for meet the parties involved in the crisis, forget the truth. In any case, we the people of Ambazonia, we supposed to force them with the truth, whether they like it or not. And as they talk, the La Republique soldiers and the authorities, and they relent their efforts for continue to terrorize our people. But unfortunately for them, the government need to tell them how many people how many of their soldiers they can't die for our territory. Very reliable reports, they show say more than 100 of them don't go to the world beyond. And the question why they ask the people of La Republique, na say, if you are picking there for that battalion where they choose a center for Ambazonia, why would they allow you for day if you can't die for useless fight? The training say may protect a country against other countries where they infiltrate and cause them problem. They're not training as simply go for another country, go begin the cause havoc. So if I be papa for picking way for soldier for La Republique, I will just withdraw it for the one time. Better catch it off my house, I begin to chop the chop at the look it and say me go die. In fact, we tell La Republique parents, they say for send their picking for Southern Cameroon and Ambazonia na their problem, because they no go see them again. The people of Southern Cameroon, they be fed up. They don't beat, they don't kill, they don't rape their women so much that the only thing they get around are to defend themselves. And I think that we do. So make La Republique say they don't meet their Waterloo. And with the talk from Ambazonians where they day inside La Republique soldiers inside La Republique army, say if they be say, I don't know if not just the money way they collect them for La Republique, or they think say they actually get a civic duty to protect La Republique. Because I don't see any reason why as an Ambazonian which will carry gun enter your brother and your sister their land, they can shoot them. That is preposterous. How a human being with conscience could do that kind of thing? Was the general where they put her in charge? Nah, an Ambazonian, I need to accept the responsibility to kind of kill the people. Anyway, it's the truth, and I say God they're on our side, and we will teach them a lesson. We will protect our people, we will self-defend ourselves, and we will send them back into their land.
The Secretary General of the Commonwealth, Baroness Patricia Scotland, it's indeed a disgrace that we looked at her program in Cameroon, and she will not be visiting the affected region. But how convenient it was to tweet that she was visiting Cameroon and she was going to try and see how her organization can help the affected. If you Google Patricia, if you Google her name, Patricia Scotland, you will see a lot of scandals, political scandals in the UK, linking to Tony Blair and other UK politicians. So personally, she's not somebody you can really count on. I mean, somebody today said, if any failed diplomat who's looking for trophies should visit Cameroon and get one gold statue from Biya, and that is exactly what happened. She collected her own, like Antoine Guterres of the UN. It's funny because Cameroon being a Commonwealth country, it's simply because Southern Cameroon is part of La République du Cameroun. French countries are naturally not part of the Commonwealth. And if the Commonwealth Secretary is visiting a country with such a relationship and there's a crisis like ours, and she cannot put her foot down to even visit the affected towns to make an assessment for herself. I mean, all the people, when you look at the audience list, almost everybody on that list, it's La République politicians, Nifrundi included. What do you think that those people could really speak for the people that are being killed, speak for the students that are being tortured and raped? Those are people whom over the past year hasn't said anything, and these are the people that she's granting audience to, and definitely giving us the impression that she wants to talk about the problems that are ongoing in Cameroon. It's simply a disgrace. I just want to thank the guys, the team on Twitter. I looked at her Twitter handle. She's gotten over 300 tweet responses, and everybody was telling her their mind. I mean, we should continue doing that. A lot of foreign media is seeing what we are telling her, and obviously they are getting interest in the story. Listening to her speech, she never even sounded like Southern Cameroonians have approached her office. She never even sounded like she has received a petition from us or anything. And like Ray said, I think it would make a lot of sense that all our communities in the diaspora look forward to put one strong demonstration at all Commonwealth offices around the world and go there with one simple message. We are not part of French Cameroon, and French Cameroon cannot be part of Commonwealth unless the Commonwealth has become something else, unless French countries are now admitted into the Commonwealth. So this is something that diaspora should really consider to do, especially on the wake of this visit that the Secretary General of Commonwealth has gone to Cameroon, and like the Secretary General of the UN really said, she doesn't care about the plight of Southern Cameroonians. She doesn't care. All she cares was to get her beautiful trophy from Mr. Biya and her parcel from the wife. That's what she came to Cameroon for, really, and then take pictures. So it is our duty, Southern Cameroonians around the world. This is the time for you to start calling your country coordinators, calling your regional coordinators, that we need to stage a huge demonstration to the Commonwealth offices. We need to ask the interim government to provide a single memo that we will hand to the Commonwealth offices across the world: South Africa, Germany, Canada, US, Norway, Sweden, all the countries that we have our communities, constituted communities in. We need to storm the Commonwealth office. Our brothers and sisters in the UK, you need to go to the Commonwealth headquarters and tell them, send them a clear message. Yes, Cameroon is part of the Commonwealth because they used to be an English-speaking country that united with Cameroon. And right now, we have moved on. That relationship is not what we want anymore. So, Commonwealth cannot keep Cameroon in that relationship. And I really think that we should even push the envelope further and start contacting Commonwealth countries individually and telling them our story. All the African Commonwealth countries, I think that our diplomatic arm should reach out to them and narrate this to them. It is unheard of. The least I was expecting from the speech of the Commonwealth Secretary was that she addressed the problem, or at least talk of the problem as if they were a problem, but she never sounded as such. So it's a huge disrespect to those families who have lost their children. All they are concerned of is a few La Republique soldiers. I mean, if you were to match the numbers, it would be 10 to 1. It would be, we lost 10 lives for La Republique to lose just 1 life. And La Republique soldiers, how valuable is the life of people who go, who would be air landing in the market in Tico? How valuable is the life of military people who would break into houses and beat on old women? So this is a very clear message, again, that we are on our own. We have always said we Southern Cameroonians are on our own. If we cannot stand up and support our government, if we fold our arms and sit, then when we fail, we all should take that collective responsibility that we did not do enough. And I think that the Commonwealth offices, we should all demonstrate at those offices as soon as possible. I think that we should call the interim government up, we should call our coordinators up, we should all demonstrate a huge demonstration at Commonwealth offices with a memorandum that they must sanction La République du Cameroon. First of all, for their atrocities, their human rights abuses. Then second of all, they must pull them out of the Commonwealth Union, because they are not supposed to be. It's a French country. Unless the Commonwealth now wants to say it's a bilingual organization, then, I mean, that is something to talk about. That would be interesting.
Yeah. We all know say La République is a very intimidating state. They try all kind of means for get our people for fear mood. But we'll be very thankful to say our people don't pass that stage for fear. After the 22nd of September and the 1st of October, they'll be indicative say fear no they were hurt anymore. Now na courage. Enough courage will take down any La République hindrance for on our way to finally restoring our land completely. I see La République helicopter begin to take soldiers, they put up a rope, they jump down. Now, only if you jump that rope, they kind of chasing up. Now, take helicopter stuff up, they put people in begin jump for rope, they fighting people. That one, no fighting, you know, touch Ambazonians at all. In fact, the time they see that helicopter, and I saw they look at so they say, I feel look at my eye for. Yeah, now so we Ambazonians we just look at these things now, we wait for the right moment. But we would want for continue to tell our people to form the vigilante groups, because as Paul don't declare war on Manu, they don't gradually take us to the northern region. The other day we hear say 4 soldiers from La République they will be killed. Where they come to terrorize our people. Our people self-defend themselves. So we know say La République will extend this terror on the other parts of Ambazonia. Just like the youth of Manu and the people of Manu don't resist them. And so all we do to come together and resist them. We will not make a call here in our shows many times. Say, make we form vigilante groups and the people of Manu be listen. It's like they be no say that for they will start. The people of Manu, they will listen, they will form their vigilante groups. And time where Paul send soldiers there, the vigilante group, they say no, we will have to defend ourselves. And they are doing that. So we call on every other county for Ambazonia for bring their people together, bring their youths well able. You see Paul being a stupid man for the work on the 21st and on the 22nd of September and on the 1st of October they shoot young people their legs. You know saying that the able men in that way they will defend that territory. So the best way for doing that will kill and shoot their legs for incapacitate them so that they don't be able to defend. But one thing we fail for understand and say we do like cats, we get so many lives, you shoot and so the other one they wake up. And even God talks say if you don't fit, if people are not for worship you go use stones and the stones they will worship you. So it then also for Ambazonia, if you kill all the youths were part they will still fight. Our very young one they will still fight. So we like the public don't feel say the intimidation and all one not go deter
the people of Ambazonia. So we call on our people in every county to come together and be organized. If you be organized as the people of Manu, then so we will repel all the forces of evil really come from La Republique into our territory. Let us organize ourselves. When you now organize ourselves, it will be easy now for the authorities that be will come help una to make sure say una be equipped enough for defend any act of terrorism for una county. So every county, you know, see how it will help from Manu. How many people don't come on for North region go Manu for go help the people of Manu? And the people of Manu, they help themselves. And trust me, the powers that be, they also come, they encourage them in many ways at one. So make all of we form our vigilante groups, get our leaders, we come together so that if La Republique send its soldiers to terrorize we going to really be organized enough and we'll get enough support for start defend ourselves. If we don't hear which are the talk, make una hear very well, make una do am, because the only way that it don't show say Commonwealth, UN, AU, all the toothless bulldogs. Their work have to just talk with the powers for Yaoundé and begin collect their gifts. I don't even know any developed country where person go visit and they carry gold dashi. How we Africans do like this? Why young people definitely suffer? You know, carry gold, you give them. Person will get it be very wealthy. Now boss for nearly all countries in the world. You come back, you carry gold. This one come, you give medal of valor. Now major BBC they have a jail and they're supposed to get that kind of honor. One of their brother carry a statue for our papa Poncha go put for wrong point for Douala. They can't carry and pull her down like a useless piece of metal. And yet some foreign woman will come out calm. We will carry gold Guatares, you know they call it calm, they will carry gold dashi, and our people are suffering. Yes, but the truth is we bribe them so that they don't know the truth about our story, but unfortunately we don't tell them the truth and our country is liberated. We just need a little notch, so we will come out for that country. And why we call on every single Ambazonia to invest in your liberation. Invest. The least you will back na $300. Invest in the liberation of Southern Cameroon's Ambazonia. If you don't put money, you don't get anything. The more you risk, the more you benefit. So make me invest.
I think every Amazonian at this time knows exactly what we are supposed to do. We are supposed to fund the struggle. We are supposed to play our part. And if you listen to the Secretary of State for Finance, it all comes down to money. We need the money to be able to push the oppressor out of our homeland. We need the money to be able to create the relationships that would enable us to start building our country from the beginning, because we need our own seaport, we need our own airport. All those things need money, and I don't think our interim government, without a basic deposit, would be able to secure business deals. So we Ambazonians, we are on our own. You saw the Commonwealth Secretary who visited home, and she showed us how much she doesn't care about what is happening. She's having fun with beer and the family and friends in the name of talking about the issues that are happening in Cameroon, which we are supposedly supposed to be part of. So we are again on our own. Yesterday we had a show, an interview where I took the questions that people have been sending us inboxes regarding finances. So I promised that we'll be having a Q&A session with all the departments of our government and asking them exactly how they are running their departments. And a lot of questions have come up around finances. I had an hour yesterday with the Secretary of State for Finance, Mr. Tabenyang Ichu, and he answered the questions. But as you could see yesterday, the volume was not good throughout the show. So I'm just trying to see if I can get him to secure another hour so that we repeat that show. It's very important. There was a lot of clarity on some of the questions that you have been sending. But what I want to say is, if you still have questions concerning finance, you could go onto the SCBC Facebook page or to the Ambazonia government, the Federal Republic of Ambazonia Facebook page, and send inbox messages with your questions. Our team will collect the questions, put them together, and we'll invite the Minister of Finance, and we'll go through the questions with him like we did yesterday. Again, yesterday I noticed that there's a lot of questions to be answered, and an hour's show cannot do it. So we'll do it in segments, I'm going to repeat the show of yesterday once he has time, and I also have time on my end. We'll repeat the show so that you get clarity on some of the common questions that you've been asking around finance. Then we'll move further to arranging other shows with him, probably every week if we have the time, so that he keeps on telling us about our finances, telling us how the finances are managed and all that, so that we can be assured that our monies are in good hands. Because when every day we come out and say people should donate, they need to be accountability mechanisms in place that assure people that their donations are not, going into people's hands who are not responsible enough. That is why I particularly said I will take on the Secretary of State for Finance. I will bring him up for questions as many times as possible so that he talks about our state of finances, so that we know. So I want your questions. Please inbox us, email us your questions, ask all the questions that you want to ask around finance. I'll get the Secretary of Finance on camera, live on SCBC, and we'll ask those questions the same way you asked them, and we'll get the answers together. If we must support our interim government, we have to trust the government, and that government has to be able to, on camera, tell us exactly what they're doing with our money, where we are with finances and all that. So that's something that I'm promising to do. The team at SCBC is supporting that show to do the production, collecting the questions and everything. But you Ambazonians need to ask those questions. The places that you have doubts and you need clarity on finances, you need to send us those questions so that we ask your own questions, not our own questions. It's important that for us to trust our government, we ask them questions and they answer. We want to build a democratic society. I think that's the basic foundation of it. So still, the message is very clear from the interim government in the area of finance. Every southern Cameroonian that has the struggle at heart, that has the freedom of Amazonia at heart, has to at least contribute minimum $300. And the hope is that we will get every month at least 100,000 people contributing that amount. If you work out $300 times 100,000, that is astronomical figures compared to where we are with fundraising. If we can do that, we will free homeland sooner than later. But not only free homeland, we will be able to start rebuilding homeland. Our homeland is in ruins like Israel was back in the day, and the prophet Jeremiah had to go physically. It wasn't prayer, it was physical. He had to go physically, put together a team that they wanted to rebuild the temple. I think that is that time for us Ambazonians. We need to make this commitment. And of course, citizenship levy is still a huge priority for our government. They still want all of us to be registered on the website ambazonia.gov, right? amba.gov, ambagov.org. But if you still use the skakuf.org website, it would redirect you to the ambagov.org website, where you can register if you are not yet registered and start paying your citizenship levy. In another WhatsApp forum the other day, somebody said, I'm not going to argue with anybody who cannot show me a proof that they are paying their citizenship levy. Because first of all, if you cannot pay your citizenship levy and you are abroad, you cannot pay $20 a month to support the Ambazonian government, whether you like it or not. it means that you are not supporting the struggle. It means that you are against the struggle. And that is true. You don't have to like the interim government, but you have to commit to paying your levies so that it can enable the government to do what it has to do to free homeland. Once homeland is free, let us go and sit in the Constituent Assembly and argue as much as possible to ensure that the constitution that we adopt reflects all our dreams, our wishes, and our desires. That's okay. But right now, you have to come out and support the interim government. And I really am not going to waste my time arguing back and forth with somebody who cannot even show basic that they are contributing their $20 a month for citizenship levy.
Yeah, Derek, I think in as much as sometimes when you talk about money over period effect, but now the only way we get for liberate ourselves from La Republic completely, you know, if we don't use money, I mean, we all know, Paul, that they just give you the gold anyhow. Now, so the whole day, you need money for survive. You need money for push your affairs. Yes, and we cry about self-defense every single day. That one was past all because it chop money past anything. So if we not be ready for get freedom, if we not really be ready, maybe we just should not require it because financially we are not really doing good. So if we really want for see real things that happen, maybe commit and pay our dues, then we could see very, very huge results. I don't need to talk much. Anyway, as the river talk say, a word to a wise is sufficient. I know say all we are wise people around here very well. So if find time we even under Secretary of State we say if you don't get money, make you borrow for bank. Borrow because this is the freedom of your children and your children's children. And we already see and say no man will can't take and give you. No man. We not depend on any country. We need to depend on any organization in the world. We only depend on the people of Amazonia. We need to seize our freedom, take it by force. And I think the world understands force more than peace. Because if there be one peace, they would already can intervene in this matter, tell the Republic to evacuate our land, because we'll be willingly get into this relationship. And like any other relationship, as you willingly get into it, so can you willingly leave. I don't understand. I don't know why these people pretend not to understand all these principles of life. Even if I talk to my young daughter, she will understand this past this anyway. Guaterres or how they call her, all those people they claim they just feign ignorance. They play like they don't know what really happened, but they know exactly what is happening. They know the truth about this. They know we have a legitimate right to be an independent state, but because of the politics of the world and how money change hands from left, center, right, really easy for you for get our freedom like that. So it means say we give or use money for forcefully take up, because not only that language where the world understand and force violence. If you not force to do something, it be like people need to take you serious. So we get to defend that territory. We don't declare our independence. It's time to defend it, and you really defend them empty hand. And you need money for defend them. We don't need for you emphasize on this point. We all know. We will not be stingy. We will be penny wise and power foolish because we will remain slaves for the Republic instead for just liberate ourselves and build our nation. Israel is a small country. They don't even reach Amazonia. It's about 2 million people. Israel. They be still 1 million for a long time before they even reach 2 million self. Now just recently, and yet now they terrorize the whole of Middle East and the world. We just clown with those people at all, and those people they dedicate their lives and finances to make sure say they be recognized in the world. And Donald Trump don't recognize Jerusalem as their capital, not because they fold their arms, and because they lobby. They work hard. They fight any aggressor, any aggressive country we come close to them. Not be say I like what it happen for that side, but the truth I say, if you want to defend your own, you must defend them with money, and people will be committed. And I don't see Ambazonians who are committed. They are ready for defend that territory. Let us enable them with the necessary resources for them, and they will defend them for we.
Thank you, Ray, for that reassurance. So again, if you are watching us on Facebook, we invite you to share the link and invite other people to join the conversation before we open the lines, so that we can have many more people, watching us sharing some perspective on the things that are happening around the struggle. Now, yesterday, the governor of the Southwest Province was Kala Bilai, supposed Southwest Province of Cameroon. The colonial government, Okala Bilai, was said to be crossing over the border to neighboring Nigeria, and with the intention of meeting the refugees. Also, it was reported that trucks of food were seen driving across Manu and heading towards Nigeria, and supposedly Okala Bilai has arranged those trucks of food parcels to go and give our brothers and sisters in the refugee camps, hoping to convince them to return back home. And our veteran journalist John Bakuru sounded the warning that some of the food has been poisoned, and luckily for us, the trucks were intercepted at the Nigerian border by the Nigerian customs, because the Nigerians, they really understand our plight. But this afternoon, what we heard is that indeed the truck was sent by some people from Canada. And it's somebody from Manu who organized for the truck to be sent. And I was asking myself, why are we doing this to ourselves? If I want to support the refugees, if a group wants to support the refugees and genuinely wants to do so, why not call HSS, who have been on top of things with the refugee issues and internally displaced people issues? Why not call on them so that they can coordinate the efforts? Now look at the damage. The truck is held up at the border, and now they would have to literally test through all the food stuff in those loaded in those trucks for the Nigerian customs to even release it. Why not call support and the health and support services so that they can help and coordinate taking the food into Nigeria, into the camps and all that? It's a good thing if somebody wants to do that, but why do it on your own, where you already have a team, a well-coordinated team that is coordinating the help? Even the UN is working with HSS on coordinating help for the refugees. This thing, it's not about heroism. I don't understand if people understand the state that we are in. Some people are really in a dying situation, and we should stop joking. This is not a time to score points. When I saw that message this afternoon with somebody saying false alarm, I got annoyed. Why? Because why would somebody take on himself to do that? If you can galvanize the support to help our refugees, why not contact the people who are already coordinating the help to get the help to them? Why would you let us, why would you make people to panic that much? Like yesterday, we were scared that food that has been poisoned will finally get to the refugees. And then the next thing we'll be talking about people who have been food poisoned. And then only to wake up today and somebody is saying no, an Ambazonian actually arranged for that. It's a pity. We should just stop trying to score points. This is not a joking situation. It's not a political situation. There are real lives of people who have been displaced. There are real people who have left their homes. There are real families who have left their homes against their wish. I don't think anybody would wake up and just want to leave their home and go and become a refugee in Nigeria. These are real life situations, and people should stop trying to use them to aggrandize themselves. If you want to help the refugees, contact health and support services. They have been coordinating this effort for the past 4 months. They have networks on the ground. They work with the UN, the UN Human Rights Office. They work with teams, with the local government teams. They can coordinate help more than any of us can individually do so. If you want to visit Nigeria and visit the refugees yourself, it's okay. But you have to contact them for them to coordinate because they already have these networks.
Yeah, basically, makes sense for picking bypass protocol. When we bypass protocol, things like this happen. La Republic, then if now so any man do the same things for our brothers and sisters where they don't become refugees, it means say any man will send them food and they will poison the food. Our people will take and say they sick and they go force them probably to get rush back to their homes in Manu, meet the cash and they lock them. So we need to be very careful. No man do for this thing for show up. A lot of people really contribute behind the scenes when no man even know. Millions, a lot of money. They send money for these people through HSS because they understand the terrain. They get agreements with the local authorities. They liaise with the UN authorities. Even when things them arrive for port for sea or airport for Nigeria where now for this refugee they go, they have an understanding. Just the same thing like if it cross border from Ambazonia to Nigeria, we will pay custom duty if the right people then be concerned. So the plea and say make we know personally go there just to buy things they send to Nigeria. First of all, chop cheap. It will be cheaper for buy those things inside Nigeria than for buy from Ambazonia, transport them all the way to Nigeria. So I don't see why this person decide to go except there's a cynical plan behind it where you fine. So no one La Republic use or take opportunity for say better when people die hungry than say make them receive food parcels from La Republic. We are not a poor people. We are not a poor nation. Ambazonians have money. They will support their own. We go feed our people. We go clothe them and we go house them and we will give them education. We don't need La Republic to do that. They don't get 56 years to do all those things, but they don't be able to. So in our term, let them leave us alone. So if you want to go Bemben Road to go, things will be La Republic and you will waste your money because that church no go reach. You go take them back, go sell them for Ambazonia or for La Republic to pay a commodity. So maybe we try to get channels, reach the right channels out there. We contact the interim government. They will give you the right numbers for call. Whether you want to call the person inside Nigeria, they get network inside Nigeria where they work perfectly. If you want to call the head of HSS, it be available at any time when I call you. Yes, so maybe we try to be very disciplined in this regard. And as concerned this colonial governor for southern region, we don't want anything from me. Make you not even try. Make you not try say we want to go visit refugees. Maybe not even think them because we don't need it. And the truth now say we just warn you one time or call a bila or what they call you. If you try go there, they will shoot you with onion, tomatoes, and egg. You're not going to be arrive this safe. So don't even waste your time because you will disgrace yourself. The people don't want to see you. They know their president. They know their authorities, and they will only welcome their people. So no waste your time for go there, Mr. Bilai.
Yeah, it would be an interesting scene to see Okala Bilai visit our brothers and sisters in Nigeria. The same person who called us bugs is now claiming the same person who has displaced over 40,000 people from their homes because he's the governor and all the Jews are working under him. And he has caused all this displacement, killed people's children. All those things are happening under him, and yet one military officer is yet to be arrested or held accountable for the atrocities that they have caused under this Okala Bilai of a person. And out of a sudden, he has become a humanitarian who wants to go over to Nigeria to sympathize with people whom he displaced from their homes. Our brothers and sisters from the border town to all the refugee camps, if you see him, do whatever you please with, and our self-defense boys, I mean, it's the right time to arrest him if you see him. That is somebody to take as a ransom, because this person is responsible for almost all the atrocities that happened in Mani. He is the governor of that region, and all the things that are happening.
He's a colonial governor.
He's a colonial governor of that region, and all the things that have happened, he should take responsibility, personal responsibility as an administrator for those. So I think that we should be on high alert. If you see him in a refugee camp, that's the right time for you to take off your rotten tomatoes, your rotten eggs, and make sure that you don't even allow him to speak to our people. It's a disgrace. I don't understand how the French function. After you have tortured people, locked up people without an excuse, then the people are running away for safety. Then you are the same person who is going out there with handouts for on a humanitarian mission to go and meet them. Our people should denounce such a visit with the strength, with all the strength that they can muster. It's wrong.
Yeah, so we would like to get our calls early today. We hope say our technical director we don't sort out our call system a little bit for us to get calls. We'll get a new one anyway. But then I also want to say we will be blessed with Ambazonians where they sing very beautiful music, and we always like say, as I talked last time, maybe we send videos of our brothers and sisters where they sing, whether they sing maybe they in Ambaland or out of Ambaland. If they find, maybe we promote them, so maybe we know them. When time reaches, we don't completely take our land, come back home. It will be time for honor our artists and to make sure so we promote them, because if I tell you right now, most of our artists where they sing, they get nothing, because we know this La Republic government, they promote our artists at all. And these people with all the talent they get, they get rewarded by playing their music and even acting movies. So we call our technical director for play one of our Amber's brother he did for UK. He played a very beautiful song, and when the song not finished, before I'll actually really talk a little bit about why I would like to see him play for AmbaPerspective as well.
I ain't even tryna beef. Tell me why the woman won't leave me. The mommy ain't she coming, so she skiing. But I ain't even coming to the weekend, baby. Shorty pulling up for me clean. I don't even know what it means, yeah. I don't know what it means, yeah. You know I tell her pull up, then she pulling up for me, yeah. Yeah, it's Jake Crims, I'm just trying to build a team, yeah. Grind through the day and told her learn the ABCs. Now she's coming back spelling, yeah, she's calling me a G, yeah. Yeah, I'm about to pull up on you, baby. Yeah, I'm about to pull up on you, baby. Whoa, I'm about to pull up on you, baby. Yeah, I'm about to pull up on you, baby. Put it on me, no rest, yeah. You know I put you through the test, yeah. Thought I told you I'm the best guy, yeah. She going faster than the next guy, yeah. Put it on me, no rest, yeah. You know I put you through the test, yeah. Thought I told you I'm the best guy, yeah. She going faster than the next guy, yeah. I ain't even tryna beef. Tell me why no one won't leave me. Mommy, you should call me, she's skeeting. I ain't even coming to the weekend, baby. I'ma pull up on the weekend, baby. I'ma call you on the weekend, baby. I'ma pull up on the weekend, baby. I'ma call you on the weekend, like ooh, the mama ooh, ain't tryna be cruel. She know what I do. You leave your heart, I'ma take it from you. But the money never prove. Go come over, hey, show you how I do. Put it on me like, hey, baby girl, I'm grabbing on your waist. Hey, the goose got a nigga hella faded. Hold up, baby, take time, and you know it's no race. Where you want go, my feet take you any place. Running daily, gotta keep my pockets in shape. Yeah, it's Jake Crims, and I'm trying to make the fakes. Trying to raise stakes off the army, now I'm sitting here just trying to stay away. Baby girl, come over here with your little waist. I'm just trying to grab, tell me that is okay. I ain't gonna turn to waste, gonna turn to waste. Only been about a day, shorty trying to come away. Now she feeding for me. Baby, why you feeding for me? Cause I know a nigga leaning, bumping. I ain't even tryna beef. Tell me why the mama won't weekend, baby. I'ma pull up on the weekend, baby. I'ma call you on the weekend, baby. I ain't even tryna be for me. Tell me when the mama won't leave me. Mommy, you should call me, she's ski. But I ain't even coming to the weekend, baby. I'ma pull up on the weekend, baby. I'ma call you on the weekend, baby. I'ma pull up on the weekend, baby. I'ma call you on the weekend, baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whoa, Screams.
Freedom
All right. Like I talk, Ambas have got talent, and we would like to continue to promote the music of our Ambazonian brothers and sisters until when we don't get back our homeland completely, so that when they come, they will not just look down like foreigners or like people who don't know them, but people don't always see them. I want to commend the first artist. That artist come from my village for Pinin, and I want to say that is a good job, and I want to tell you me continue with the good work and for sing more freedom songs for Ambazonia as well. I know say probably sing that one time really struggle we don't start, but we start to think about singing freedom songs because we need to hear those kind of songs much often. So I want to say my people in Tufu village, they get talent. My Amba people get talent, and my village people get talent. Then I never hear come people sing.
So, you know Afwako.
Oh yeah, F.R.A since we thought like modern singing.
What do you mean singing and singing, my friend? Music is an art.
F.R.A will be singing
Music is an art.
in the days, and they will sing said La Republic song them. We are talking about songs of this generation.
Anyway, Ray, I think that we're encouraging our artists to more and more produce songs, music, especially around our struggle, so that we should record our history in songs. It's a beautiful thing. You know, it's really a way to tell the world, you know, your story. Music is something that's loved across the world, and when you tell your story through music, it's really easy for people with other cultures. It's easy for them to accept, to understand your story when you're telling it through music. So we're encouraging our musicians, our artists, our poets, and our writers to start writing our story. We should tell the world our story the way we want it told. La Republic can no longer tell our story for us, so we need to make sure that we continue encouraging that, and we will encourage that on SBC. We will play all the Ambazonian music that we find on YouTube or the one that you send to us. We will play it on SCBC to promote our artists, to promote our own. We want to be proud of our own. I mean, if you look back at the entertainment industry in Nigeria, it's not up to 15 years old. 10 years ago, there was nothing happening there, but they wake up to wanting their own, and they have almost metamorphosed in 10 years, and they are a powerhouse around the world. Right now in the world, when you are talking about movies, you cannot talk about Hollywood and Bollywood without talking about Nollywood.
We'll talk about Amberwood some more time.
Yeah, so you have to, and these things are done because these things happen not by accident, but deliberate actions that people deliberately make. I just love Boya. A friend of mine was saying that when you go to Boya now, every youth that you see, it's a star in one way or the other. It's either a designer, it's either a makeup artist, and that is a good thing. It's a good culture. It's the culture of entrepreneurship, where people take their own space and own it. You know, be something. Don't just be there and be waiting for a job. Just be something. Just express yourself. And if you express yourself and you look for ways to get paid expressing yourself, that is beautiful. That is how the most powerful countries in the world, America, it's built upon that model of entrepreneurship where people just create from nothing.
Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to reintroduce myself. Now Links, alongside Mike, Monster. We about to take y'all to where we come from. Mr. Uber.
K-Town one in the million. Stepping up and making all the zillions. Your name with a carry on. Mash up everywhere with a hustle on. Now here in the streets it's a crazy world. But we still gotta go back
from
home.
3 main roads, now 1 meeting point. In front 3 and 1 Carrefour in them na die. Buku de bar, from here we dropping sick bars. Home of the brave, night look more like daytime. So if you ask me, for here we get na 2 daytime. Yellow white, yes now they call on that. If Dumbbell draw, Lakers win, heroes lost, check 'em. If Tico beaten Bonge, Opopo beaten Jala. Ball for net, PWD we go qualify. We support us native fly. Even now for food, we go reach Boya. Beat Mount Cameroon, then bring the blessings from the chariots of the gods to Kumba. Dark shades, dark tails, call me Grand Cave of Yango Api Krofo, Boya Road, Capo, Mbonge Road already know, so I don't need no intro. Soldier from day 1, I need it by Mimbo. Lost sense, I take you then call you Mdimo. 2015, call I'm 35. At 60, and they still sell. Boy, I get na boutique. How can I sell out? For big mob market, now you be the sellout. Back out, drop out. For here we need to snitch out. The bars give you blackout. Lyrical knockout, your crew just to freak out. Now screaming time.
K-Town one in the million. Stepping up and making all the zillions. Your name with a carry on. Mash up everywhere with a hustle on. Now here in the streets it's a crazy world. But we still gotta go back home. Back home. You know we still gotta go back home. Back home.
Let's do this. Stand for my chest, love in my heart. Straight out of K-Town, that's why I'm hot.
We get the conflicting images here. One, we get the music they play for one of our on our Facebook, and here we get our images. So I don't know which one we which. I don't know whether the here we make to tell which one on air right now. Okay, so our lines are be open. If now here we make una give our calls and let us know, and we look at next year we school get for start. Our I don't know whether they still get that same position as of now that it was to go for Amberland, and we also get La Republic elections next year. We foresee that go on for some on our territory. Quite a few things to look forward to 2018, and a negative one. So as we talk, we need for really put our country in prayer and for make sure say our people in Nigeria be catered for during this festive season. Maybe not just think only about ourselves, but maybe we think about our brothers and sisters in Nigeria. Our lines will be open. We expect if we call, we get a discussion.
Yes, so we are expecting your we are expecting to hear from you. The first caller that came through, we struggled to hear him. We could not really hear him, and we lost him. We're sorry about that. The lines are open. You have our direct numbers on your scores, preferably the +287 number, the first one up. Call that one. It's a direct line to the studio, so that we can have a conversation. Our brothers have been displaced in Nigeria. They also have to spend Christmas, and I think that all of us should make at least chip in something, at least contact health and support services and chip in something towards making sure that those children in Nigeria, they also get to have a Christmas that is befitting. If we don't do this, no one else will do it. So we need to now look into our Christmas budget and take out that 10%. Where you take your 10% and and instead of diving, you dive into the struggle.
Call it Amber Tides.
Yeah, I really think we should really institute Amber Tides. If people could pay their contributions monthly. Yes, Kingsley, if you go on to the website ambergov.org or skakum.org, you will see the government website and you can register with your credit card to be paying your contributions monthly.
Welcome to AmbaPerspective.
You can choose.
Hello? Yes, hello, welcome, sir. He has gone off again.
So Kingsley, you have to go onto the website ambergov.org and you register as a citizen of Ambazonia and you can start paying your contributions monthly. If you go on to paying citizenship levy, you can choose the amount that you feel comfortable to pay monthly. You can choose to pay $20. You can choose to pay more. There's a drop down selection that you can button that you can select exactly how much you want to be paying monthly. If you want to be paying $20 a month, it's okay. If you want to be paying $50 a month, it's okay as well. Just go on there and register and start paying your levy and start paying your contributions the way you want to pay them. So our government can only function if we raise the money needed so that it does function. So we should ensure that we commit our own little bit and ensure that we support that government to function. Right now, it's that time where we need to donate to support and relief services so that they can ensure that our brothers and sisters in Nigeria, they have a good Christmas as we are going on holiday. This is our last show already. Are we doing a show on Saturday?
We have our last show on Saturday.
We'll have our last show on Saturday before we go off for a few days holiday.
Hello.
Hoping that nothing bad would happen, that we'll need to run back to the studios. We'll go for a few days, but we have committed to, send a small bit of the money that we've been keeping away for Christmas to our brothers and sisters in Nigeria, and we are begging you, we are calling on you to do the same. Let us all commit to send a little bit of our Christmas money to Nigeria so that those children, so that those women, they should also have Christmas in a befitting way.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, welcome.
Hello. Yes. I want to talk about AmbaPerspective.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
I want to.
Welcome to AmbaPerspective.
Hello.
Yeah, we didn't hear you.
Yes. I beg, no, I'm not hearing you. You need to talk about Amanda.
We didn't hear you. Go ahead.
I don't try my own personal news. I try my own personal news to pay my own money to make players work at the program, connect people to the people their houses. So I don't even wear my way, but they trouble to the main and people who make a way.
Okay. But I don't hear you properly. You appeal saying all we make our own contributions to make sure say information be passed to all our brothers and sisters from Amberland, right?
Yes. I call right to the main there.
Oh, you did Bamida. You see, we all days are the struggle and all we get a responsibility for make sure say anything we want to say make people know and we take the personal responsibility for doing. Our government is try possible best for send out information outside there and we count on every ambassador to do the same. And as we get ACBC, we try as much for send as much information we will send them, make our people be informed about the struggle and about the things the way they're supposed to do. And so we thank you, our brother, for the work we already do. And you go find we encourage other people to come on board, also support you for we send out information.
Okay. But we try to do how we do contribute. How we do contribute. Because you are doing a workshop where the gather people and discuss with them to see how we give them money to the film.
Okay, that's great. like we don't always talk, it be a little bit challenging for people for homeland to contribute money for this struggle. We receive fine means where people can contribute. However, we don't talk say if we get means for come together, put money, find some person where we know where they abroad, make it register, we begin pay, we won't use them. It don't be possible. If you contact us for ACBC here, we'll try to facilitate that registration for una so that una feel the pay una won't use them. Because I know say when you pay something, they talk for some place, you feel proud to be part of the people that contribute to see the smooth running of our government and our nation. So I understand say una like to contribute, make una try to see how una fit do and then una contact with the studio, we'll go see how to channel una contributions to the right sources.
Yes, we keep emphasizing that people at home who really want to pay contribute towards the struggle should be getting together with other people who want to contribute, put the money together. Like this month, for instance, people from home in a group, WhatsApp group, raised 25,000 francs at home and paid for electricity at the SCBC studios. And my heart bleeds for things like that. It's so encouraging. I mean, it's as small as it is. It's a huge milestone. Those are people who are based at home. They took their initiative. 5 of them, they all contributed 5,000. They raised 25,000 and they called us up. They said, what can we do for SCBC? We said they should pay the electricity bill for this place. So it's something that we really encourage. People at home can really play their own part. If you have your brothers and sisters abroad, it's time for you to reach out to them and ask them to help you contribute. At times, if I want to send money home, if I want to send 50,000 home, somebody can say, okay, you contribute that money to the struggle, and then I would give it to your family this side.
Hello.
Welcome to AmbaPerspective.
Yes.
Uncle P.
Good evening.
Good evening, Uncle P.
Oh, I go try to hide this my ugly voice. I don't know nothing I mean.
I didn't know about Saria, Uncle P.
How I do today?
Good day, fine. How you doing?
Well, I mean, we'll get a very great weekend last week for SN.
Yeah, we'll be seeing
I really see the Amba spirit. I hope when I be here on news.
Yeah, we're here.
Yes, we'll do a great job for them, and then we'll sensitize the German population, and then we'll do fundraising, where it will be a very great success. Right. And I want to take the chance to encourage all the Southern Cameroonians, no matter where they are, me they try to do the same, because we feel that down the rain need we now more than ever before. Yes.
Well, right.
I get the sad news from Dobse. The forces of disorder and lawlessness, they arrest a few boys where they go home for holiday. For X months to live man, so they seize their bikes, seize them 800 something thousand. I mean, we really ask these people in this question, say, which dialogue did they talk about where they keep on for terrorize people them? They act now like armed robbers, so seize young boys their new bikes them. Seize young boys their money, picking no work for coast for a long time. Gather small money, they go for level C family for Banso. They catch them on top, seize all those things them. Which kind of people these people they really do?
I swear, my brother.
I ask myself, say, wait to see who makes a Southern Cameroonian, Oma put and say, an Anglophone Cameroonian, what they call we. At this point in time, they still stay for outside for support these people them. Need to just take this kind of pictures, this kind trade happen. Take say this small boys they catch them for bond up. Now their family picking them. Picking not spend time work for course a long time, gather small money to go for meet up family. They catch them, seize them. Which kind of thing be that? Which kind of thing be that?
It will be very sad in there, Uncle P, because the honest truth, I say, as a Southern Cameroonian, Bosnian, or Anglophone, you are guilty as charged. You know, we just do it guilty because by virtue of the fact that we come out for this place and we speak this language, and so anything we like Republic man want do for we go do them. Because you don't get anything for charge we on except say we speak English and we come on Amazonia. So we now why that we call on our people to get vigilante groups to be very, very careful and for form, because if we get vigilante groups to that area from top where this like the public soldier they do this thing, by the time they want to do it like that, our boys will come out defend themselves and take over their bikes from these ruthless people. Now why don't we call on people to form their vigilante groups and we equip them to be able to defend themselves?
And secondly, I want to call the attention for our people. Them say now the situation is so we not get any possibility for turn our back. We only go for face the mountain. Yeah. We bring the mountain down. So make any person be ready for take any action waiting for a front. So far as it be in compliance with the governing council. Or our struggle for defend itself, because before they killed over 400 Southern Cameroonians, them we still expect that we can talk peace. As they can declare war, it means that we're there for war, and we know that the war they exist since 1961. So you don't openly not declare. Me no man no fish they be free. Whether it be a delegate of education, you be now waiting because our person are delegate. No say you be a terrorist, so you get now for join your people them. And the good news that say plenty military don't defect. Plenty so they don't run. If so that way they tell me go fight war, if they run, go hide. we will not say we victory there for hand. Oh, I just smell the victory, I just smell them, I already taste them. So, Amber ahead, because the victory don't already have no stress, no giving up. I think we have plenty.
Thank you, Kopi. Yeah, you see, when we get passionate callers like on Kopi, they always rejuvenate our spirit. The honest truth be say, now hope they will keep it going. Now hope will make we win this struggle, because any more we despair, you know, go fight any further. So our people give us stand up and continue to defend themselves very strongly. We don't see how our brothers and sisters from man, you don't do them. Make we not relent our efforts. Make we continue to form those groups. As I don't talk we will empower those groups to make sure they be able to defend themselves. Make we not relent our efforts. The time don't reach for if we tell our republic say, as that song talk say, if you fight with person where it knows a bit for swim, it go reach for corner water, it go accept the fight. We don't accept this fight. We don't accept them. And so we need now for organize ourselves, and then we go equip ourselves for self-defense. So that any person way, each say we can't just walk past our land, kiwi anyhow, may think again. So that when the Republic so that send them in the fear for come. Hello? Right. So we need to put fear for those soldiers for the Republic. So that anytime the Minister of Defense, the one choose battalion for camp, all the government they pray for their God say, make it not be in their battalion, because they know say as they go Amazonia, the likelihood is will come back all there will be very high. So yes, our people would have formed vigilante groups. I want to tell you again, Manu no come that today just as they just declare war for Manu, they just woke up study defend themselves. No. That way, interim government the same form vigilante groups. Those guys got organized. They form them. I mean, there you know we see pictures where we send about the vigilante groups. They form the anti-gangs or whatever they call them. And now that way they come for attack them, they defend themselves. Hello?
Welcome to AmbaPerspective.
Hello, sister. Welcome.
I'm calling from Nigeria.
You call from Nigeria?
Yes.
Okay, they're like, this is our first call from Nigeria, right?
Yes, first call.
Oh, you don't go offline. I beg, make this our sister call again, because we never ever really get call from Nigeria, and we would like to hear your perspective. Maybe not for the call from refugee camp.
Yeah,
it would be
nice too.
It would be nice for you for a year. our sister talk to also go back to me, call me back, and maybe in a create deserve leaving them for finish this call as it don't go offline, unfortunately. But we thank you for the
Thanks so much for the call.
Yeah.
Let's try to call that the caller.
Yeah, we'll try to call the call you back. Yeah.
Let's see if we can connect with
The community of 15 that's 11 feet.
Hello.
I'm hearing.
Okay, just move a little bit for play with it so that we can hear you clearly. The line be shaky a little bit. Oh God, it don't like the network be very poor. We go see try for calling again, because we really want to hear from Nigeria.
Yeah, we will be trying to call that to call the caller back from Nigeria. It would be nice to hear. Probably she's in one of the refugee camps. Probably she can tell us the situation there in Nigeria. That would be nice. So we will be trying to reach her.
Hello.
The call could not be established. Contact
the call could not be established. It's like a network problem. Just be unfortunate. Hello? Hello?
Welcome to AmbaPerspective. Yeah.
Oh, the caller don't go off as well. Yeah. So with the call on our people for call, especially now we will also get calls from Nigeria. It could be a very great thing for get our people in Nigeria, especially at the refugees camp for call. We can give first-hand information so that our people will know what will happen. Because sometimes it be when person talks until they go to experience what they go through, we get a better picture past when some person they report that information to us. Hello, welcome to AmbaPerspective. Hello. Hello. Yeah.
So talking about Nigeria, our reporter from Nigeria, George Stando, did a very comprehensive report on the situation on the ground with our refugees, and we will be playing a clip of that, and then we'll talk a little bit about refugees. I really think that this Christmas period, the message about our brothers and sisters in Nigeria should really be re-emphasized. So once that clip is ready, we'll go through that clip all together, and then we'll talk about it. Welcome to AmbaPerspective.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, brother. Hello. Hello. Oh, the brother don't go offline.
Yeah. So we will have a clip report that was put together in Nigeria as our interim government sent a team to visit our brothers and sisters in the various refugee camps. So we'll have a look at that clip right now if it's ready, and then we'll discuss a little bit more on ways that we can help the refugees in Nigeria so that they should have a better Christmas.
Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you for Ambala.
Oh, great. How Ambala, my brother?
No, we are managing.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, I just want to thank you for all the
Thank you.
calls and yeah, I want to make I wanted to also do information
My brother, move a little bit forward so that we see you clearly.
Yeah, we had a bit of problems. Like from a long distance to anyone is going on like this. circumstances to be on what AmbaPerspective the gathering in a place where we see how determined the people are. Some people will even ask me that now that they're Coco, how do they contribute their own support and that some of them doesn't have power to fight. So it really doesn't do because I've never had an answer to give. All what I said, AmbaPerspective number to show us that that's somebody abroad. And I see there's some of them don't anybody that contribute something to have a team that they are doing something that they are counting. So it's 314. To me, I was suggesting that interim government also vigilante groups try positions of these in some of the quarters so that the people so that when they're going to pass on issue, terminate very fast within the middle house and another person's house. So information start to I was suggesting that because most of them don't have time to have these normal phones, the Ronco phones that we move. Don't have the Android phone. So what they think of what they hear on television and what they are doing. So if they are given the information like on the then that one is strong and confirmed. And that's my little question.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you for that contribution. And as you listen for us, I think we try to get a good communication mechanism for to send out information back at home to the people in the hinterlands and very deep down in the villages. Besides SCBC TV, we send SMSs for people the way we get their numbers. And sometimes when some important thing, they would print out flyers, send them down into the villages so that everybody be aware of which way they happen. So yeah, and we also need to be responsible Amberlanders for also beginning to disseminate information as with the data, so that other people, if you get information, get their people of a village, you call them, you tell them, say there's an interim government don't talk, say na so thing they go happen, so that they go also get information. We just thank God, say this channel will be watched right inside villages, and yes,
exactly as you have said, yeah. We all Amazonians need to stand together in this information battle, from the shutdown of the internet to the disturbing of phone lines and even disturbing of SBC signals right now. That's what La Republic has been doing to ensure that we don't pass our information on time, we don't get our information to our people. It's still our responsibility, all of us, when you get information, for you to SMS somebody, for you to call somebody and tell them. It's still our responsibility in the diaspora to inform our families of what the government is talking about. I'm saying this because our president is addressing the nation tomorrow around 9 p.m. Amber time, and we should make it a date to watch that program. It's going to be very, very important. He's going to pronounce the government's position on schools resumption, and that show would be followed immediately with an analysis from the spokesman, Undersecretary for Communications, Mr. Milton, who will be hosting a panelist discussion, and we'll have our Secretary for Education, Mr. Tassan Wilfred, and we will have some of our other bloggers like Mark Barra, we'll have the likes of John Baakuru, we'll have all of them discuss the president's speech right after the speech. It's going to be probably the most important speech that we will have, and we should put a date for tomorrow 9 p.m. Amber time to watch and analyze it together and get our government's position. But most importantly, we should take that information and share with our people in the hinterlands. We should take that information and print flyers at home and share in villages and share in towns so that everybody is informed on the government's position. So this is our collective responsibility. I'm just so happy with the Secretary for Communications, Secretary Chris Anu. He has come in and he's ramping up communication. He's working a lot behind the scenes with his team to get a mechanism going. And in the coming days, you would see that communication is doing much, much better because of the work that he's doing with the current team right now, trying to put together processes in place to really ramp up communication. But it's a collective responsibility. We have to do it, all of us. So we will play this report from Nigeria. It's the report, the last visit to the refugee camps. Our brother and reporter in Nigeria, George Stando, put together this report, and it's reported by Mr. Bernard Ango. So we'll listen to that report right away.
A delegation dispatched by His Excellency Sisiko Ayok Tabe, President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, paid a visit to southern Cameroon's refugees based in Nigeria due to the militarization and crackdown on civilian population by the armed forces from La République du Cameroon following the 1st October 2017 independence restoration celebrations by southern Cameroons. The delegation led by F.R.A Ngalafo, President of Southern Cameroon's National Council and member of the Restoration Council of the Governing Council, was accompanied by Barrister Nalnova B. from the Secretariat of the Governing Council and Barrister Shufai Beruni, member of the interim government. The delegation visited refugees in Aboke, Emana, Ikom, just to name a few. While addressing the refugees, F.R.A Ngalafo reminded them to have confidence in the interim president, His Excellency Ayok Tabe, and to channel all their problems to the interim government, if any.
President Sisiko Ayok Tabe. When I don't hear that name? Yes. Huh? Yes. Okay, I'm going to call him again. Okay, fine. They say, we can salute winner. See how winner day. If any problem there, it will not be possible for we for talk now, so that we can bring them for eat. These we people where they bring them, then we will tell them.
F.R.A Ngalafo and his delegation also took time to visit some aged southern Cameroonian refugees who are suffering from life-threatening illnesses and needs urgent medical attention, like in the case of Rosengum, who is suffering from high blood pressure and stroke. She has not had any medications since she escaped into Nigeria.
Rosengum? Yes, you come on for which side?
I don't know. Well, from Cameroon.
Okay, from Cameroon. Yes, so what did the Hamburg you? What did you are sick? Sick where you? High blood and stroke. Yes. Okay. And up to this moment, your medicine don't finish. Yes. Okay. You never be able to get another one. Okay.
Also, we have this old mother who cannot walk properly because she was tortured by an armed soldier using the barrel of the gun, as her wounds are still to heal.
So just give me this one. So the other one tell me something that one I don't know what I know. But say, Mama, we don't know. All right, now she don't. As she talks so say, now she don't. And later I say, Mama, when I go, yeah. He said, when I go. Oh, no, she don't.
He talk for English?
Yes, no, he talk for English.
Meaning say
correct
one
English.
Of we.
Yes, correct
English.
One
of our son.
Yes, one of our son. I'm the man.
We take God in
So now you gone for last.
I'm
trying to see
Abokem German, the one doing like Cameroon side.
Amongst and not the least, this old father who is blind and deaf and suffer from chronic stomach disorder.
What the government can do?
No, they do anything, but show small time about shit.
Oh, okay, the punch.
The punch, so you need serious medical attention. Yeah.
At the end of the visit, F.R.A Ngalafo and his delegation made a late-night stop at the Ikom refugee camp, where he called on the young men and women resident there to take orders and refrain from unruly behavior amongst themselves.
Beat ye with a gun for back here like this. Old people. Now they suffer. Where will they suffer? Under La Republic. And we have to remain united committed, dedicated, so that if they talk, say, maybe we'll do this, maybe we'll not do this, you have to listen to the instructions. You have to listen to the instructions. We must solve this problem to go back to our country. We not get for continue the suffer like this. We all, they suffer. Not be only winner. We all, they suffer. Now, another thing where I get for emphasize for winner, especially the young boys and the young girls. When I get for discipline winner, seriously. We don't want to say any person could begin the work anyhow. They talk anyhow. They go for bar. They talk anyhow. So sometimes they talk within when they quarrel among themselves.
Reporting for SABC, Angu Bernard. The United Nations High Commission for Refugees in Nigeria has donated some items to ease the living conditions of southern Cameroon's refugees currently residing at a refugee camp in the Cross River states of Nigeria. The exercise that took place in one of the refugee camps in the border village of Abonkem coincided with a visit of the interim government of Ambazonian delegation visit to the refugees headed by Dr. Fongalafo. With over 1,500 Southern Cameroonian refugees in Abonkem refugee camp, some of the items donated to assist them includes cooking oil, bedding soap, mattresses, and some food items such as rice. The swelling numbers of refugees in the camps each day is a call for concern with new arrival being registered. To assist the United Nations High Commission for Refugees distribute some of these items, some Ambazonians have taken upon themselves to volunteer in the process, such as Comrade Amabo Solomon, Mr. Tucker, and a host of others, making sure the refugees are in good condition. At a brief stop at Ajaso refugee camp that harbors some other 400 Amazonian refugees, Dr. Fongalafo, while delivering some of the most needed, like food items, to the refugees, advised and cautioned them to be united and refrain from talking too much for security reasons.
We don't come for salute winner, so that if some serious problem there, when I could make we understand, so that we could take them, present for we interim government. We don't try get this small grain, this small rice, this time na Christmas time, where this we small picking them. We get for bring some small thing. If we go through, then get another one, we go send them. When I hear, yeah. The thing where we've been emphasized, it be say, as when I don't come here, this way brother them and we sister them and with this way mama, they don't take winner. Make winner stay with them for 1 month. No be at all. We don't want to hear quarrels. I make a man and no go do something where it could bring shame for we. Either the young boys or the young girls. No misbehavior. Because if we not misbehave, the time when I come out, trouble could then for this with mama here. We don't want that. But when I stay in unity, care for one another, any small thing, we not share them together. Who they here where you could like to make the kaji give for the person, for the hand, for the people where they make you wrong. Some person they here, So you have to be very, very careful. Overtalk. From my country, talk that they talk say, even the grass, it get ear. And I want when I'm for understand say, we have to appreciate the thing where the local government, they chief them, and the local government for here, and the state government of Cross River State, and the federal government, and they do, and they protect. We don't want any trouble.
On their part, representatives of the refugees in Ajaso camp spoke about the current challenges they are facing.
I want just use this opportunity, beg you say, today I go contact the authority of the youth here. They dislodge that place. Any person we don't see say come here for come find a comfort zone, then you know they're ready for Ambazonian struggle. You go. All man go come identify himself here. If you cannot come and manage the way we are managing here, take your things and go. It's too much. Like you the talk so they know even they here to hear the warning where you the sound. They still there back there. Cause the see motor, the pass, the run behind motor say spy. The see person, the come, the cash person, the drag, he say spy. I don't shout this thing in several locations. Now stranger man the country land with this so. And we do anything, we not even jeopardize our state, but the very persons where they cohabit us. Meaning we don't put them in much trouble, especially this mama. He co-wife don't talk here for much pain. They even give me yesterday Sunday, the last day, to leave this place. If we are there, we are still being here now because they get a human feeling.
This mother, who is one of the Nigerians hosting the Southern Cameroon's refugees, sent a message to the army of La République not to dare hurt any of theirs living in Manu.
Them here, they won't catch them. So now we keep them. Now we keep our Bazonia here.
Yeah.
So then I tell them.
All right.
Then I tell them, they don't touch our children, Hanu.
Okay. Apart from the challenges faced by the refugees, there has been some deaths recorded.
I'm the Undersecretary for Home Affairs for the Ambazonia interim government. Yesterday we lost one of our boys here, Sakwe Chabaga. Chabaga, he died, bring to 4. The number of refugees, they don't die since this crisis started. 2 children that were died after birth, and one other gentleman at 17, age 17, died in one other camp. So we'll maintain a minute of silence for them.
At the end of the brief stop at Ajaso, our correspondent, Talusi George Tando, from Savannah News Agency, spoke to some of the refugees who had this to say about their ordeals.
All Monday inside house. Janam they flop all sides. Even if you want to go buy something, they need to make you come up outside to make you go buy. So they don't make a big force of more come for the side. So they move job is and plenty of you want come, but they need to no man come outside.
As they need agree, so they need only agree or they some touch up, some they beat,
when they catch you, when they catch you outside, they tell me you for down. They beat you, send inside house back. They don't want to see no man outside. So some of you will don't run rich for you now, will try now, will run around rich for you, and will be very fortunate to come now. So because they put them for about no people even come now because they need green. So on Monday time you buy outside. Now for window or any way get an inside house, you just buy outside.
Yes, as because of this crisis, our place for no job. They be the shushu gun, they follow, we catch people them. As we struggle, succeed, we run this side, and this side too, they take pride. We no be get peace for how we be there. We no get peace at all. The army go right now, they don't take from head down to head down, cover all that police, nowhere for our rock to come, they don't take us like. They do the threatening, we no get peace for our place.
Okay, my name is Danny Lord from Ekonomarawa village in the Yumajok subdivision. Actually, before one come here now, say government start pursue we say we don't conduct 22nd September march past. And because now we be carry the activities for our head, they declare we wanted. So all this while for more than 2 months, getting to 3 months, I don't be out, I cannot go back. And with the situations on ground, I don't even sure say I will go back if the situation not be resolved. They give we one Amazonian land. Then some of us go remain outside. And ever since we be here, our stay has not been easy. Managing from one hand to the other, from ground to mouth. But then we don't have anything much to lose since we are fighting a just cause. I just hope one day we'll go back and enjoy what God has kept for us. That's I believe.
Okay.
Reporting for SABC, Ango Bernard.
To thank our reporters there, Ango Bernard and George Tando from Nigeria for putting together that report. And really what we want, the message that we want to pass here is to tell our brothers and sisters that it's not okay. It might seem okay in some counties. It might seem like everything is normal in some counties. But this is what is going on to some of our brothers and sisters. And they say what happens to one is what is happening to all. This morning we wake up to a terrible letter from the prisons that Mr. Penn Terence wrote, and I could not hold my tears back. This is the situation that our brothers and sisters in Nigeria are facing, and we must stand up and stand for them and ensure that this doesn't get worse than it already is.
Yeah, when you watch this, our brothers and when they don't become refugees, your heart really break inside because for my wildest dream, as I grew up, I never believed, say, one day we will call one of our own people a refugee in another country. And the reality don't set in, and we see a lot of our people, they be in Nigeria, they don't go Nigeria because of the terrorist government of La Republique, where they don't enter our land, they terrorize them. It will really be very, very bad. Now the reason why we will not relate our effort for continuing with the fight, because at the stand now we don't get land, we don't get place to go back. If we don't fight La Republique out of that our land, then our brothers and sisters will stay forever in Nigeria. They take money, they beg for chop. We will be out of the country, one day on permanent exile. We'll not ever go back home. So it will really be a very heartbreaking situation. And with Nawaida, we will only continue to plead for those who will be able to contribute so that we go fight and take our land. Because our freedom will be one way we will take her with just the beg. We'll take her with force. And only force, if we not do so, nothing will happen. As I talked already, the world, they understand a forceful takeover. They don't know anything peaceful. If you want to use peaceful means, you will stay for the rest of your life. You will not stay for 56 years. They beg these people, say, may they even try come on the table and see how things discuss, live amicably, but they don't agree. Peaceful. So now we supposed to take it by force. We know they know we not get any other choice but than to take our land. So make we contribute money for the interim government to fight and take Amber land from La Republique.
Yes, you have seen the report from our refugee camps. You have seen the situation. Those people are in dire need. It's Christmas. Let us all, in the spirit of Christmas, make sure that we really go out of our way to support that these families, that these people, that these children have a befitting Christmas. We Amazonians are on our own. You have seen the visit of the Secretary for the Commonwealth. You listened to her speech. She never even sounded like her office has received any notification on our issue. And that is how the world is. That is how the politics of the world plays. They always act like the late fireman, the fire department of Cameroon. They always get to a fire scene when the damage has already been done. And we know what damage is going to happen. And it's really going to get dark. But we Amazonians must prepare, and for us to prepare is that we should fund our interim government, to enable our interim government to do what it has to do, to ensure that we have a free homeland, to ensure that our brothers and sisters that are in Nigeria, that they have a decent life at least, to ensure that our brothers in prison, that we secure release of our brothers in prison. And talking of our brothers in prison, on the 29th, most of them are appearing in court again. And we are calling on all Amazonian lawyers at home to make sure that they appear in that court in Yaoundé during that hearing. We are hoping that our brothers, our heroes, Penn Terence, Mancho BBC, who have almost spent a year in prison, will be released. But with all other prisoners as well, we are hoping that they will get released on the 29th But we are calling on all lawyers to make sure that they go to that court, that military tribunal, to defend our brothers and our sisters together.
We come almost to the end of the show, and we just get one message for pass for all of you who watch me from Amberland. We're going to continue to hold ourselves strong, still remain resilient, because there's a lot of work where it happen behind the scenes. Sometimes, as I always talk, not everything where we report and not everything we will need to come talk outside here. But we want rest assured the people of Ambazonia say we work a lot. Besides for the take care of the refugees, besides the diplomatic, besides the self-defense unit where you work day and night, we say things go come to a level where like we even send soldiers to come die for our land. We also say make our people be pray for this struggle. We get people out there where they don't form WhatsApp groups and prayer groups. We're gonna join such groups to pray for the people of Amberland, because we need prayers at this time. Christmas time, at the time of giving, we want to urge our people of Amazonia to find families the way they be in need, especially the ones the way they don't get problems because of this time when we fight for our land, especially our teachers. They never go for school for 1 year and a second year and they not be paid. Maybe try to extend our hands of fellowship to them and give them something during this time, for even put a smile on their faces as we would go for a time of giving. And yes, maybe we call on God for blessed Amberland, so that before next year go on, even reach half, we'll be talking about a new nation and not still the talk say we want to take them completely. So yeah, Derek, I think that is all for me tonight. I just need to thank everybody around the watch.
We want to thank our viewers again for spending some time with us. We want to thank those at home, those watching online on our various platforms. We thank you so much for being committed viewers of AmbaPerspective. We will be coming back after our holiday with a whole different SCBC. We will have our producers behind the scenes to make our shows more interesting, to make our shows more in-depth on the struggle. We will be enlarging the team. A lot will be happening behind the scenes. We pray that you keep watching SCBC. Look out for the president's speech tomorrow evening. That's going to be a game-changer speech. That's going to be a direction speech. We all have been asking what next, what next. I think the president will be bringing those answers. And right after the president's speech, the Under-Secretary of State for Communication will be hosting a panel discussion where you will have the Secretary of State for Education, Mr. Tassan Wilfred. You will have senior comrades like Comrade Jomba Akuru. You will have Mark Barra. You will have Atanga Marcellus. You will have all those people in a panel discussion with Under-Secretary Taka Milton, discussing the president's speech, discussing the direction that we must follow as Ambazonians from here going forward. And especially the question on education will be answered directly. That question, that is the elephant in the room. That is what must be addressed, and tomorrow the president will address it. The president will make a decision from the government's point of view, and the panel discussion will put some clarity into that decision that the government has made. And we are looking forward to have a lot of viewers tomorrow who will take that message and share that message to our communities. So as we close AmbaPerspective, we will watch a last music clip together from one of our Amba brothers who are singing in their own way to promote the struggle. And as we close, keep watching SCBC. Thank you very much.
Federation is the only answer, and the Francophones at times believe that federation means division. No, it is a fallacy. The most united countries in the world are federations. America, Nigeria, they are federations. Even Canada.
54 years since last man would take the bullshit out when I take play for food. They want bring an for I. If you say now we were English and the French sound una no nangma for bad place una nakana for I. Really bamenda. According to una will be food una say una jaka for what town they made they go school. Change laws anyhow. say my way in the orange. Landlord feel lock the man sick a house. Now una the top flop. Una get big mob, your bank account have popcorn, you living in a big house. We've been marginalized for so long. I imagine all the lies I've been told now that I'm this tall. The couple now our size, we not fissing with the fear gun for our generation. Now internet be King Kong, English Cameroon, and who cares if you don't like that? Wait for too long, it's only fair that we fight back for independence. Look at you like, give me my life back. Or you start to cut the cake for middle. Yeah, like that. Stop for drink, throw, then start drinking a fighter. If I see that you move from a corner, I go slap him.
Like a storm coming over me. Like a storm coming over me.
Man be theory say na last time we jam we go make you go feel like say na mumes and we jam wala day you know the cram atang and jia mom na tap Mr. Ndumu you go clap we go name una blame una shame una then dap the power na the people NCNC power to the people SDF me I know they with the same chairman nothing no change na the same thing that butu go do for down there policeman we no go school go lawyer then racle then they use gun we go use phone we go make them pay until the giver own damn it is the struggle.
Like a storm coming over me. Like a storm coming over me. Like a storm coming over me.
Mama, mi bẹ lábọ́ ni wọ́n kàn mú kàn sí ìlú bẹ̀rẹ̀. Ship.
I feel like I don't hold, but I don't wash my head. I wish we